Yesterday morning when we opened this conference, it feels like it was about 2 weeks ago, actually, so much has happened. We talked about how we really hoped and aimed to inspire, inform, and equip all of us with new knowledge, new ideas, and new partners. Well, I think we've had a pretty amazing 2 days, and we can safely say that we made some real headway on meeting those goals. I think we've been inspired by powerful stories of lived experience that individuals have very generously shared with us over the past 2 days. We've been inspired by the continuous passion and innovation of our peers here with us, and in our communities back home too. Many of you brought stories of other great things that are happening where you live. And we've been inspired by all the amazing opportunities in front of us. I think all of us have come away with lots of new ideas, great directions that we want to pursue. I think we've also been really informed by some breakthrough research and new ideas, and the leadership of some of our partners here today who've been shining light on financial barriers facing families with low incomes and on the really important solutions that are beginning to break down those barriers, sometimes in a very large way. And I think we've also been equipped with new ideas, tools, and resources through the tool exchange, which is fantastic, and most importantly, with new connections to new partners from all sectors who share our goals, our passion, and our commitment to make a tangible difference in the lives of 1 million Canadians who are now living in poverty. So, because great brings conferences are always springboards to action, over the next year, the ABLE Steering Committee and the Policy and Research Action Team, and Prosper Canada certainly is a member of that, will be drawing on all the ideas and energy you've generated over the past 2 days, in which Erica at the back there has been capturing in an unbelievable way. I have to say, big hand for Erica. And Erica, I think about 1,800 people have asked me today, what are you going to do with those? When can we see them? So we will be getting these digitally. We will be sharing them with everybody. They'll be on the website. You'll be able to download them and use them yourselves, so they won't be lost. Don't worry. And I think we've just found a way to decorate our office because we're expanding. So thank you, Erica. But together, the steering committee, the policy and research action team under Louise's unbelievable leadership will be spending the next year working on finding new ways to share emerging knowledge and innovations across all the sectors who are involved in our work. We'll be working to encourage and support more governments to begin integrating financial empowerment into their policies and programs, to generate more resources and more sustainability from our work. I think that was a huge theme that we felt permeated these whole 2 days. But lots of great signs of progress on that front. And also to build capacity in all sectors to create real pathways to financial opportunity for all Canadians. And I think we heard from the financial institutions, there's a definite interest and passion and commitment to move forward there. Not always easy to figure out exactly how to do it in some very large systems, but no shortage of desire to work with us. Before we move forward, though, I think it's probably worth taking just a moment to reflect on the progress we've made since the last ABLE conference 2 years ago, when a lot of people in this room heard the words financial empowerment for the very first time in Canada. Since then, in just 2 short years, we've actually seen governments at all levels, and we can see in Calgary's poverty reduction strategy, in the recent the new federal government's commitment to reach out and connect people to their benefits, not wait for them to find out if they're eligible or not. We've seen them incorporating financial empowerment approaches into their broader strategies, policies, and programs. And there's plenty more work to be done there, but it's starting to happen. We've also seen the appointment of the world's first national financial literacy leader, which is tremendous. I think Jane has been bringing enormous leadership to financial literacy across Canada, and a real spirit of collaboration and aligning for impact, certainly. We've also seen a lot of dynamic new collaboratives emerge, most recently in Winnipeg, to grow and drive local, regional, and national planning and action. And we've seen new partners from the private and philanthropic sectors coming on board with really important new investments and active engagement and support. So, money is good, but active engagement and support is even better. And I think that's the difference that I'm seeing in the work that's happening, is we're not just getting people writing checks. They're actually coming to meet with us, working with us, and learning. And we've seen the national media actually starting to pay attention to the issues that we now know need to be addressed. They're covering the issues around payday lending. They're covering the issues around financial vulnerability, household debt. So I think we're really seeing a confluence and a huge degree of momentum building up. So basically, we're on a roll, people. So let's hear it for the next 2 years and even more amazing changes ahead. Congratulations. But before we all get back to work, conferences like this take an enormous amount of planning, effort, dedication, ideas from many, many, many people. And I know a lot of people have been very kind and thanked Prosper Canada for hosting this, but Prosper Canada did not put on this conference. A huge collection of people through the entire ABLE network worked with us. We were kind of the people making the phone calls and emails and stuff, but it really was a huge collective effort to pull this together. So I'd like to start by thanking the members of the ABLE conference planning team who've worked tirelessly for the past year to plan an absolutely fantastic conference program. So could everybody on the planning team please stand up? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yay! Great hand. A small but very mighty group. And there are actually quite a few other members of the team who aren't here, but we thank them. Their names are listed in your program. So if you see them, give them the thumbs up. I'd also like to recognize the members of the ABLE Steering Committee who work year in and year out, actually, to animate the ABLE network and to support its members. So could all the members of the ABLE Steering Committee stand up, please, who are here today? And thank you. And we know their work is not done. It's going to keep going, so thank you again. And I would be remiss, though, if I didn't thank the members of the Prosper Canada staff who have been working very hard on today's conference. So please stand up and take your bow, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Caroline. And reception. Everybody on that registration desk, too, worked extremely hard. So please thank them on your way out. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to our speakers, panelists, and presenters. You are extraordinary. Everybody's been commenting. I do my informal poll in the washroom. I listen to what people say. And everybody comes out of every session buzzing and talking about how amazing every one of the speakers were. It's just been fantastic. Every session has just been galvanizing. So a huge thank you to all of our speakers. As much as we would like to pretend that we're great conference organizers, every conference has a great event planning team behind it. So I'd like to recognize Deb Lewis and City Events and her team for all their amazing work in supporting this conference. So, Deb, are you in here? Are you good? No, she's not. Okay, she's shy. I'd also like to thank the Allstream Center and their technology team, catering, and event support people, some of whom are at the back of the room, for your amazing work. Everything went flawlessly, guys. You were amazing. So thank you so much for all of your help. Finally, for poor sponsors who are hoping maybe we hadn't forgotten, I would like to say an enormous thank you to our sponsors. We had so many amazing sponsors for this conference. So many organizations just approached us and said, we'd love to be a part of this. How can we help? And not just giving a check, but also saying we want to help support participants to come. Can we contribute something in kind? Can we help promote your event? Can we send people? We want to learn more. It's just been amazing, the support and engagement from all of our sponsors. So I'd like to recognize first and foremost TD as our event sponsor, who's been there in trenches now for quite a few years with many of our organizations. So thank you, TD. And also to our platinum sponsors, Meridian and TurboTax. So you've seen they've been on our panels. They've been here supporting us financially, and they're going to continue to be great partners to our movement. And to our gold sponsor, the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada, who is helping to lead the charge on the government side, and has really broadened out from just thinking about financial literacy to really thinking about all the ways in which they can help move financial empowerment forward. And we know we have a huge team from FCAC here today and their staff. We're here to learn, engage, and build partnerships, and we really appreciate all the support and the ongoing collaboration that we have with you and that many of our partners here in the room have directly with you. So thank you very much. If any of our sponsors are here in the room, can you please stand up and take a bow? Thank you so much again. And I actually was remiss. We have many other sponsors that I haven't lifted off here, but they all played an enormous important role and together made this conference possible. So here's a big hand for them as well. So before we I do the final wrap up, when we started this conference, Amy Desjarlais was kind enough to help us open the conference by reconnecting all of us and grounding us in the spirit that really animates and drives and energizes us in our work. So I'd like to invite Amy up again to help us close the conference and to close the circle, bring us back to where we began, and to help reconnect us again to really the spirit of sharing that is really what drives us all, I think, in our work. Thank you. Amy?
Wenebojo, Wabagagakshi, Jashkishko Quedishnakas, Wasaksing Donchba, Mikdodem, Anashnabe Quendel, Gae Ogichdakwe, Gae Kinomagekwe, Gae Anamama, Bejik Gwis, Maskamazon Shinkaza. So I'm very happy to be here again this afternoon to help close your event. I hope you've had a very enlightening and productive 2 days, day and a half. And it was very interesting trip here, both days. It was a little bit windy, and today especially just trying to find the path here, which is really interesting. When we're talking about finding our way through those financial pathways, it can be very daunting sometimes and confusing and a little worrisome. And so I just need to take a deep breath for a minute. Maybe we can all do that together. Take a nice deep breath. And out. So when I was thinking about how I wanted to close this afternoon's event, I started thinking about my recent brush with poverty. I have never been in that place where I haven't been able to pay rent, and I haven't been able to get a job. Right? I've always been someone that is very driven, and I was doing the work to applying for jobs and stuff like that, and just nothing was happening. And I was thinking to myself, part of it was choice, because there were very specific jobs that I wanted. And a very specific lifestyle that I wanted so that I could continue doing this kind of work. So I had to really think about and connect with what I really wanted for my life. And I started thinking about our ancestors. I come from a family of hunters, right? And I was thinking about that, and I was mulling that idea that I can't feed my family because, one, I don't know how to hunt. My father, who is the hunter, didn't teach me how to hunt. And even if I did know how to hunt, I wouldn't be able to hunt in the city, right? And so when we're thinking about our ancestors, and I was reflecting on that, I'm like, well, you converse with them because in our way, they're still here guiding us, right? And so I talked to my grandfather, that ancestor out there, and I said, Grandfather, how am I going to provide for my family? How am I going to look for that gain? And that's kind of what it is in today's society. You're still hunting, but you're hunting jobs, and you're hunting opportunities, and you're hunting in a different way. And so in that way, I saw how I was just kind of sitting there and expecting the game to come to me, right? It doesn't work that way. The deer don't just come out and say, okay, I'm here, right? You have to go and you have to do those walks. You have to walk the bush. You have to walk the trails. And you have to offer your sama, right? I was gifted sama, one of our sacred medicines, to come and do this work. And that is more important than anything else, honorarium, than anything else. And it's because it comes with good intentions. It comes with those purest intentions to ask for someone like me to come and share these teachings. And so I took that sama and I pray with it, right? What am I going to say? How am I going to help this group? And when you're in that place and you're, back in the day we used to hunt, we would offer a sama to the Creator, to Gijamanido, the great kind spirit. And we would pray to those spirits of those, the deer and the moose and those ones, and we would ask them, please, pity us. We are so pitiful. We cannot survive without you. We cannot survive without help from Gijamanido, from the deer, from those around us. And so we offer with deepest humility this asama and these prayers to ask you to pity us, because we are so humble in our time of need. And we open ourselves up to welcoming any abundance and assistance that you can provide. Right? And so I was in that place 3 weeks ago. And I was so humbled, right? I had to really get down low and remember that, one, I deserve abundance. That is, I deserve a good life. That I deserve a happy life, right? I deserve all those things. And sometimes we forget, right? We forget those things. And so asama helps to bring us back to that place and reminds us that we're deserving of good life, of kindness, of support of others. And the work that you're doing is responding to those humble prayers, right? The work that you're doing is responding to those calls from people that are in such a space that they can't see that for themselves. And so this work that you're doing is kind of like that deer coming out, right? I'm going to, help you, and we're going to see and grow abundance together, right? And so that's what that spirit is, that generosity of spirit, that generosity of support, of kindness, of love for our fellow brothers and sisters out there that are struggling. And so I'd like to thank you all for the work that you're doing and that you continue to do. And I'll take this time now to just acknowledge those ones again in those 4 directions. So we're going to acknowledge the ones in the east, Wabnong and the ones in the south, Jaunong and the ones in the west, Apingishmuk and the ones in the north, Giwednong. We're going to ask you to stop. And we're going to ask you to turn this way for a moment. We're going to ask all of our ancestors and our helpers and our spirit guides to stop for a moment and turn this way so that we can properly acknowledge all of the work and support that is going on around us. All the work and support that's going on when we are humbled in that space. And we're going to ask, and we're going to acknowledge those ones and say, Gachimigwech. Say that, Gachimigwech. 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 We are so thankful to all of our spirit helpers and our Gejeminido, the great kind mystery who is always watching out for us, to Mother Earth for all of her endless and boundless generosity that she continues to provide for us, all of the food and the medicines and the shelter that we use from her body to clothe and feed our children and ourselves. So we acknowledge Mother Earth, and we thank you from the very bottom of our heart for continuing to do that work and providing for us. Thank you to all of the spirits of the water, all of the different waters, for continuing to provide the sustenance that life needs to happen. And we're very sorry for some of the teachings that we've forgotten when our waterways are unclear or unhealthy. So we'd like to offer those prayers to you, Nibe, for continuing to do the things that the Great Spirit has asked of you. And we would like to say thank you to all of the plants and vegetables and the minerals in this world that help to provide us with all the things that make our lives whole and complete and comfortable. And we'd like to thank those ones coming up, the little ones, our children and our grandchildren that bring us such happiness and the driving force behind all of our efforts to provide a good and balanced life. So we'd like to say Gichimigwech to all of our spirits and ancestors for doing that work that you continue to do. And we send greetings and gratitude and thanks to all of you. Chimigwech. So I'd like to end this with a traveling song. I know some of you have already left. We're going to send that song to the ones that are on the road right now. I would like to send this out to all of you for the journeys that you're going to make, short or long, and wish you a safe and happy journey home this day. Chimigwech. I'm just going to get a drink of water because this one's, it's very energetic. So this song is, there's not really title. The feeling is that it's looking forward. So I'm looking forward to the day when I see your faces again. And I wish you well. safe journey.